you ever thought about what it is that moves a potential client from that position of vaguely contemplating working with you to actually being ready to do something about it? What is it that gets them to that position of saying, yes, I want to do business with you, I want to buy what you're offering, I want to work with you? What is that thing that makes the difference in their decision-making process? So this is something that Google call the zero moment of truth, and there are a ton of really, really interesting articles on Google. If you go and Google the zero moment of truth, some really, really juicy stuff on there. But essentially what it talks about is the zero moment of truth is that point in a customer, a prospect's decision-making process where they think to themselves, I've got all the information I need, I have answered all of my questions, I'm happy with this person, this company, I want to do business, I am ready to buy. Now, here's the interesting thing about this zero moment of truth is, if you think about this as a chain, and you think about that chain being the point here when a potential customer first hears anything about you, first hears about your services, your products, or whether they might want to work with you. And this bit here, I've got to try and make sure I stay in camera, is the point where they've made the decision to buy. Now, what used to happen in the olden days, when I say olden days, I'm probably going back 10 years, is what a customer would do down this chain is they would bimble down here a little bit, they'd have a little look at what information they can find about you. They might go and get a testimonial or a bit of feedback from somebody else. This sounds vaguely interesting. Let me get in touch and we'll have a conversation about it. So in this decision-making process, a conversation would happen somewhere here. What happens these days is we don't like speaking to people anymore. We like to keep it all at arm's length. We like to keep our decision-making private. We don't want to be manipulated or make any decisions about buying something we don't want. So actually, in this whole kind of investigative getting to know you and working you out and assessing if you're the right company for them, what's happening now is the conversations aren't happening here, they're happening right here. So the customer now wants to do a huge amount more research, planning, preparation. They are making their decision before they come to talk to you, rather than coming to talk to you really early on and you helping them to decide whether to buy from you or not. So what does this actually mean for you and your business? Well, it means that you probably have a lot of prospects that you don't know about. They're lurking and watching you and looking at your website and watching you on social media, but they don't want to reveal themselves as a prospect. So they're often quite hidden. But what it really means is you need to help them down this journey of learning more about you and getting to a point of feeling ready to have that conversation with you about whether they should come and buy. So some of this you can do quite simply. What you really want to think about is sharing as much information as openly and as readily accessible as possible about what you do. You want to make sure that your website makes it really clear what kind of services you offer. If you have those things as packages, that's brilliant. One of the big advantages of a package is a customer can really simply see exactly what they're going to get, what it's going to cost, what it involves. The buying process around that is really, really straightforward. So packages really support decision making around buying. You definitely want to have your pricing information publicly available. Now, I understand that it may be that you're in one of those businesses where your pricing is very bespoke, no two projects are ever the same, but I would look wherever possible to have a starting from price or a ballpark price or an example of a project price or something like that. These days, people do not want to have to come to you to ask you your price and to ever have that mortifying moment of saying, no, that's too expensive or we can't afford it. So you really want to share as much pricing information as you can. Be honest, be open, be upfront. And here's the beauty of things like that. If your competitors don't have pricing information on their website and you do, then this prospect, he can't continue on that journey of discovery in his private secret place with that other company. So he'll stick with you. He's much more likely to come and talk to you if he can publicly see your prices. And then really the other thing to think about is, what are all the questions that people ask you before they're ready to make that decision? And if you can include the answers to all of those questions, and you could do that through sharing client stories, sharing case studies, using testimonials, or things like FAQs on your website. An FAQ page or an FAQ document or download can be incredibly valuable in helping your potential customers to be able to answer all their nitty-gritty questions and overcome all their own objections, so they can carry on down that path of discovery and decide to bite the bullet and actually get in touch with you. I hope that all makes sense. If you're somebody who feels like you have a lot of conversations or lots of murmurings with potential customers and they just don't turn it into business, this may well be one of the things that would really help to make a difference. So get in touch with me at taylory.co.uk and let's talk about how I can help you turn more prospects into juicy clients.